We continue with part 2. Make sure to watch the first part before. So in order to understand a little how and why this phenomenon occurs, let's quickly see the symbolic synchronization that are the signs of invisible forces expressing themselves in the visible. So to begin with, that moment the woman in front and I in the background cross each other when the strings are seen in the sky is exactly like the eclipse of the painting and completes the image I already explained of the great alchemical work, where the woman it is the moon and the man the sun, and when they cross it is a sign of a creator due to the perfect alignment of their proportions, something that is always discussed in philosophical theory, but here I can show you in real life. And precisely at that moment I form a halo around the head. A halo is a spiritual crown of somewhat with superior authority, and a crown is precisely what is formed in an eclipse, which also forms wings on a celestial crown of higher planes. That this is precisely the image of the flag of my country, and that day everything happened at the flag monument, all due to the great Corona event, which means crown. All this symbolizing I already announced in 2019, that is, all the moment of the mural at the end revealed like an eclipse the crown that was previously invisible. In fact, the picture of the astral union comes from the philosopher Rosary, the same name of my city Rosario, which means rosary, and ends with the resurrection in Christ as a red solar king who projects with his creative spirit life on earth. For the 3 in 1 is also the Trinity. Furthermore, in the painting the giant on red earth is a reference to Adam, which means created from the red earth and is the original human, and was also a spiritual giant. In the second painting, above the red cap is the net, which is pronounced red in Spanish, like the color, and adding the crown at the end behind the red curtain and the man in red is revealed the picture of Adam Kadmo, the Kabbalistic monarch returning to earth. With this we see the revealed mystery of the crown. Now we are going to end seeing how the revelation plays out of who it belongs to. Coincidentally, before all this happened, I projected my spirit to heaven into a gigantic form over a mass meditation, and it all became real. As we have already seen, the painting shows a tomb and the workers who excavated found it empty, and precisely the monument has a crypt of a patriarch where no one is buried. We also see that the step building like the monument is a cenotaph, which is just an empty tomb and usually have a crown, and a pyramid is also exactly an empty tomb of a king. Whose empty grave is this? Let's see. As I already showed you, something that you couldn't find anywhere else before, the monument is also a sphinx, that is a lion or solar king, and in the painting the giant is exactly over a hill with the same shape as the lion's paw, under the monument giant. The painting shows the fire in the center of the pyramid, exactly where the monument has the figurehead, which is where the sphinx has its heart or center of life. And a sphinx is not only a lion king with superior authority, but it means living picture, like what we just saw. And the reference to the lion is also biblical. The first mural is attributed to the Christian painting of the Great Dreamer by William Blake, and an echo of the past tomb of the Messiah, who is a lion king. Also under the giant you can see the red fire, which is often symbolized by the lion. Just like in the second painting of the crown surrounded by flames, this is equal to the baptisms of the Spirit of God. And the lost people is like the scene of the resurrection where they fail to see him. And in the third painting the eclipse is like the stone that opens, revealing the empty tomb and revealing the Messiah who has risen. The burning bush is precisely the spirit of the I Am, the source of the power of creation on earth. In the scripture it says that God is a consuming fire, so now we see the revelation of the mystery of the crown of fire, and the empty tomb of the King of Kings is complete. It is hard to believe in these supernatural concepts, but those who see me from the beginning know that I don't talk about them unless I have evidence of it and everything coincides. If not, how can we explain the force behind all these pictures that repeat in reality? Now that we see all the images clearly line up, we can see that it's literally as if a higher power has used what I synchronized with the Great Conjunction to project it to the whole group of people. And this is not the first thing I show you about that moment. It already happened with the pictures of the film I made years ago, which were also projected at the same moment and in the same place. It is as if that moment I had become that personification of the concept I already explained and demonstrated of the astral light being the equivalent of the projector and the world of the screen of a film, but this time it is as if the light, instead of projecting the astral script, used me as a projector lens. And all this has a synchronization with the creator returning to the world, because that is exactly what happened that day. First I created the astral series, and in the final episode I entered it, and then while the pictures I had created became reality in the monument, at the end I entered them. Second, I projected the mural in the synchronization I created, and while it came true, I entered my creation. In other words, the creator of a work awakens within his creation, realizing he is the creator. As if the director of the film gave one of the protagonists the camera, the editing, and the projector all in one, as if making him a director within the film while it continues in real time. From the biblical point of view, the world is like a movie. There is the heavenly council watching as spectators, and the central light animating and directing what happens on the terrestrial disc, which from a higher plane must be the equivalent of a computer disk where our reality occurs. And that moment is as if the light from the projector entered the film. Is the equivalent of a UFO. A supernatural or superastral light enters and alters reality. And precisely this concept in the Bible is found at the end of the last book, exactly in Revelation 21:23, just the year this event happened and the year that we are about to begin. And Revelation is when the veil is removed, like the curtain of the final painting. In the verse it says that God is the light and his son the lamp, that is, the source of the creator uses his creation as a projector glass. Moreover, if you ever saw on the internet that what is called a photobomb, when someone appears in the background of the image and later you realize was doing something weird, well, that's more or less what happened, but on a God level, as if God himself used me at that moment to repeat each image of the painting in reality and make a superastral photobomb. Thanks to the fact that I stood in the middle and matched the images, you can see God behind everyone there. In fact, some of those who were arrested say they felt God's protection at all times, a God-level photobomb. Even the moment in which the photographer repeats himself is a reference to the painting called The Son of Man, which is precisely a painting of its own creator having painted himself in his creation. It's like I've turned into a human 5G for a moment, or an invisible UFO control us all, but it clearly shows the effect of one person can have like invisible waves in nature. So remember that when someone says that your actions don't matter or that there's nothing we can do. Sometimes behind a person who seems harmless can be the creator itself. Another great coincidence on that same place happened a few years before, when children from all over the city came together to play chess, decorating the floor of the monument as a human chessboard, just like in the mural. In fact, the men with the sticks of the mural are all reference to human chess, and coincidentally the board and the giant pieces are essential pieces of world occultism, which I have no doubt was involved that day to betray the doctors. So if for some reason many people were manipulated by a hidden hand, at least through me, we can see it clearly how some things are the way they are. The Illuminati are so afraid that this power awakens in everyone, especially the young generations, that they made a cartoon painting it as Satan, and we already know that Disney and its companies are really Satan, where an occultist trap it and destroy it. But as we already are seeing and know, it is already turning against them, and they are already lost. And by the way, out of curiosity, days before knowing the monument was used for human chess, I made an artificial intelligence picture God watches Superastral, and it drew a red sculpture and a blue one, just like my clothes, deposited on the world, but not with regular statues bases, but instead with bases like those of chess pieces. Like God on top of a UFO landing on Earth. Even more that day, as in the painting, and As in human chess, all the people of the monument form a great cross all around the corona event. The crown, as if the hand of God himself had entered to leave its mark, knowing that I was going to sit and to show you. Now, a warning. It may be possible that by just watching this, you may have awakened a crown, which is a conscious, direct awareness straight to the kingdoms of heaven. And you may start receiving unseen signals that the kingdoms of heaven are all around you. In reality, the only way that this is possible is that if everyone present have a ghost, meaning a spirit, or an energetic invisible body. And in that moment, a ghost king, meaning a lord of spirits with superior authority, used my pictures to project into the spirits of everyone around. We are spiritual projectors, biological machines. And when good people realize that power, they are going to project all together their spiritual power to destroy all evil. It is hard to believe. Here is the proof. In fact, I don't believe to any of the millions of people that claim to make astral projection of spiritual travels, or the rabbis with their Kabbalistic theory, or that they know God, or that they do magic, and they present absolutely no evidence whatsoever. But here, through me, you have the proof. This is a true mark of God intervention on Earth. Documented. Or of course, we may already be all controlled by 5G, or invisible UFOs, or satanic voodoo, or who knows what else, and we are not even able to choose whether to stand or how to move. Maybe there were even agents posing so I see this and confuse you saying it's all a dream. But no. Nevertheless, you think after this I can talk politics or economics or philosophy or make a simple astrological report or quoting the Bible. No. But it is too much to process. I leave you with what the meme that says, since I can explain all the phenomena of the universe, then it must be God. Or as the meme says, about things to say when you have nothing to say. As the prophecy foretold. But at what cost? So let it be written, so let it be done. So this is what we come to? That's what she said. Is this why fate brought us together? Just like in a dream. There is no escape from fate. In this economy, well, I can go on ad infinitum showing more about this, but it will take too long. So for now, I'll end on the following note. I did all this with the videos that the people who were that day shared publicly, and although I use their images to illustrate everything, is done with the utmost respect, since although I am showing you the disappearance of the barrier between the imaginary and the real, everything what happened that day was of course real. All the sacrifice of the people who fought for the truth that day was real, but also the infiltrators and the shock groups to prevent the truth from coming to light, and not counting the occultist hand that make pacts with evil, etc., etc., etc. In that small moment, the three people who are speaking reveal exactly that the intentions of the rulers was to bring the country and the people to disgrace, that they were arresting dissidents to silence them, and that the groups for the truth were denouncing so many warned from the beginning and before. But hey, maybe now we can reverse all that. Just by miracle. Why not? I mean, what else we have to lose? So projecting into the future, if I can upload images and this happen, imagine what it will be like if the technology of mind and biological control ends up in the hand of those who have the world's resources. Luckily, apparently, by divine grace, I can show you that we have it too. The first one I show it with the series, the second one with this, and that is not counting the other smaller projections. Therefore, if for some reason I have opened a door or have become a revealed connection between the above and the below, I leave it open and accessible to all those who follow the truth and freedom so that they project a better world once and for all. If for some reason I can project the future of the world, I can assure you that in this future the evil ones and the new world order no longer exist. So I leave the movie as follows. You have already seen it. All this is only possible because I was born in the city, the internet was created, I made the series at the monument, I made the projections of the mural with the Grand Conjunction, I joined those who fight for the truth, and that day I decided to go, even though I didn't know what to expect. And now I can show you the traces of the spirit made visible. What are the chances that everything would match up exactly how it did? 1 in infinite. If that's possible, can you imagine what is coming? And as a last message, to all those who persist in evil, do not continue anymore. Your time is up, you are already lost. We are all part of a bigger picture than just what is in plain sight. And to those who after all this still think it's just a coincidence, please, let them go and watch the World Cup. That is truly a theater of the devil. Bye bye. Okay guys, I wanted to make this since it happened, since the day, moment it occurred. But of course, some things take time. But here are the facts. Now I can make movies that become real. And when I was young, I wanted to make movies to change the world. So I guess I'm gonna make that now. If you wanna be a part of it, then you can. You can be part of the pictures of the Illuminati, which are Satan, which just simply means enemy. Or you can be part of my movie, God's movie. Now you can be part of Super Astral, the movie that God watches.